Can you people hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, lovely.
हेलो वाम श्री कृष्णा। हेलो आदित्य। आप लोग एक बार अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लेंगे।
Just give me-
हाय सर, गुड इवनिंग।
Hello, Deva. How are you?
फाइन सर। बस और वन स्टूडेंट है जो ज्वाइन कर ले, फिर हम स्टार्ट करते हैं। मैं एक बार को पूछ लेती हूँ।
Yeah. Sure. Hey, hi, Vamshi.
Hi, sir.
Sorry, I noticed you now.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
yeah, good, great. How are you, sir?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you. And hello, Nandita.
Right, so
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, so everybody is joined. So I introduce myself Devdatta Mahapatra. I am co-founder of Camera Craft Production, which under we will run this coaching, FTI entrance exam preparation, FTI and SRFTI both. And Mr. Abhinav Gupta sir is FTI alumni who will take your classes. And since last 2 year he take the classes of yours. मैं बेसिकली छोट ब्रीफली आपको बता देती हूँ पैटर्न्स। आपको एफटीआई का पता होगा। एग्जाम सब लोग इस बार पहली बार दे रहे हैं या किसी का सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट है?
I'll be appearing for FTI second time.
सेकेंड टाइम। तो
Yeah.
2019 कोविड के बाद पैटर्न्स एफटीआई में बार बार चेंज होते रहते हैं। जैसे कि 19 में जीरो सेशन हो गया था ड्यू टू कोविड, तो 20 में क्या हुआ था, उन लोगों ने बैच को एग्जाम जो पैटर्न किया था उन लोगों ने डिले कर दिया था। तो उस टाइम से डिले होते जा रहा है एग्जाम में। जनरली मार्च में एग्जाम होता था, बट अभी लास्ट ईयर जो हुआ था एग्जाम अराउंड होते होते वो जुलाई हो गया था आई गेस। एंड एग्जाम में पैटर्न्स चेंज होते हैं, जैसे कि पहले एमसीक्यू एंड सब्जेक्टिव आता था। 2021 में पहले उन लोगों ने एमसीक्यू करवाया, देन उसके बाद जिन लोगों का एमसीक्यू में मार्क्स अच्छा आया था उन लोगों का सब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट पेपर चेक किया था। लास्ट ईयर जो 2025 में चेंजेस हुए थे वो 50% एमसीक्यू, सॉरी, हाँ 50% एमसीक्यू एंड 50% सब्जेक्टिव था। अभी जो चेंज आ रहा है कि 60% आप लोगों का सब्जेक्टिव होगा, 40% एमसीक्यू होगा। तो इस पैटर्न से एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन होता है। एसआरएफटीआई में पूरी तरीके से चेंज है। एसआरएफटीआई आपका एमसीक्यू पहले लेते हैं। जो एमसीक्यू में क्लियर करते हैं उनको सेकेंड राउंड के लिए बुलाया जाता है। वहां पे आप लोगों का रिटन एग्जाम भी होगा, इंटरव्यू राउंड भी होगा। ये होल प्रोसीजर रहता है। बाकी जैसे कुछ अपडेट्स आते रहेंगे हम पेज पे अपलोड करते रहेंगे, वहां से इंफॉर्मेशंस आपको मिलते रहेंगे। अभिनव सर प्लीज आप क्लास ले लीजिए।
Hanji, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Lovely. And somehow we have, like you were there last time, if I'm not mistaken.
No, sir, it's my first class and I'm appearing for the first time as well.
Okay, sure. Okay, cool. ठीक है. So, as ma'am just introduced us with the format, so I'll just briefly, Deva, are you there?
Sir,
So this will be a 10 session thing, right?
yeah, 10
If I'm
sessions.
not mistaken.
10
Yeah.
sessions.
Okay. Okay, cool. And so I will be focusing almost midway, 50-50 on MCQs and also on the questions, uh, what do you call subjective questions. Okay, but I will be but I'll be deliberately kind of highlighting the subjective aspects more. I
Yeah.
think that becomes very critical.
Yeah.
Objective में तो Yeah, sorry, you say.
हम जो सेशंस चलते रहेंगे बीच बीच में इनको पीडीएफ्स वगैरह शेयर कर देंगे.
हाँ, नहीं, also because objective is something that you cannot really prepare, for. Objective is something either you have been preparing for some time, or it's there, you've been reading a newspaper all throughout, and you're very much updated with things that may come across. So objective is not something that we can really prepare. Subjective is something very, very critical, and as it turns out, we can actually prepare, move ahead towards writing better answers and uh, visualizing better spaces and situations, right? So that will be kind of my journey in the next 10 sessions. And one thing we have never practiced earlier, but let's see, we'll try if it works out. Then I'll give you one question to write an answer also. By the end of the session, I will provide you with a question. And that is something you have to sit back and work it out, write an answer for the question in that stipulated time, whatever the time that has been kind of given. Okay. And next day, when we come up, we start with the answers first, and then we go ahead with the regular question answers that we doing. So that adds to one question. Basically, what we are doing is that will add to your preparation, in a way. So, and any idea? I'm sorry if I missed it. When is the entrance likely to be held?
Till now, there is no date has come. We expected that date will be declared by end of the April month.
Acha.
Sir, but for SRFTI, they are declared it's going to be on February 22nd, I guess.
The MCQ exam they have
Yes.
conducted.
Okay, ठीक है, fair. ठीक है. So why I'm asking this question is because then for certain things we will start preparing right from now, right from today. Which, for example, the MCQs, that is something you have to get into right now today. You can't avoid that. ठीक है. ठीक है. Chalo, let's begin. So before we get into the question answers and everything, let me just give you kind of a brief of what FTI is and how, at least in my times, I cracked FTI written in 2005, went and faced the interview, could not finish it, as in could not crack it. I was waiting list one, and then 2006 again, I went for the FTI thing, and this time I cracked it. Okay, so I have basically what I'm trying to say is I have had two experiences of writing the written and facing the interview. And I have been there. I have we were a batch which spanned for almost 4 years, 5 years in fact. So I've seen 5 batches coming in, having faced the entrance. And then I've also taught at FTI for a year and a half during the COVID, actually, 2022, actually, 22 and 23. So uh, uh, I kind of understand now what they are looking for in people, what kind of people they want there. And the idea is to understand that psychology also, that psyche of what they are looking for. मतलब तुम मेहनत तो कर रहे हो, लेकिन ऐसे अंधाधुंध मेहनत करने का कोई पॉइंट नहीं है. अच्छा, इज लैंग्वेज अ प्रॉब्लम, इंग्लिश और हिंदी, विद एनीवन ऑफ यू? Vamshi, Hindi is okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I'll be mixing the thing. Also because anybody, why language is not a issue here facing FTI? Anybody?
Because they are mainly interested in your mentality or point of view rather than your language. Language is basically a
Yeah,
medium.
correct. Language is just a medium. They are not the questions are not desiring you of having a very good control of English or Hindi, so to say. But you have to be an effective conveyor, or you have to convey your story or your idea or your thought or your philosophy very, very effectively. कैसे भी कर, हिंदी करो, इंग्लिश करो, मिक्स कर दो, जो करना करो, लेकिन बट कम्युनिकेट करना इंपॉर्टेंट है. दे वांट पीपल हु कैन कम्युनिकेट वेल. Okay. So all the more. Just give me a brief introduction to yourselves. Where are you guys coming from? What's your background? Vamshi, begin.
Uh, so hi everyone. Hi sir. Uh, so I'm Vamshi Krishna. Um, I recently graduated out of IIIT Gwalior. Now I'm working as a software developer engineer at NextWave EdTech. And coming to this whole point of why I'm trying to get into this FTI or this field is, so I want to share a little bit about myself. So uh, I kind of my childhood was pretty messy. I kind of grew up in a slum. My father used to work as a uh, municipality worker. So basically, the my father's circumstances would force him to uh, drink every day so that he could do that work because bearing it in that stench and working for all the day, it was quite hectic for him. So not even my father, all of the employees does that, and eventually he became an alcoholic. And whenever he comes to homes, he used to fight with us. There was a lot of fighting going between my mother and my father. So I gradually grew up in this state, kind of a hectic state. But I was really hating my childhood when I was a child. But I thought whole world was just a hell. But I started growing up. I started realizing it was not only about. I mean, I do had certain good things. I mean, natural gifted things. So I was. I started exploring those things, and I eventually found that I was good at sports. I even played nationals at kickboxing nationals, and I have a merit in kickboxing nationals. And apart from that, I also cleared JEE joint entrance exam and got into Indian Institute of Information Technology. It is one of the top technical institutes in India. So I did all of those things preparing at my home. I didn't had any formal coaching for to JEE. So that's when I got into technical IIIT, and I just realized that I was able to do more things. Even when life gave me very little opportunity. I mean, the constraints were too many upon me for my.
Okay. Hold on. Now you understand. You have to understand that there has to be a limit, a time limit to everything, right?
Okay.
What I'm saying.
Hmm.
You have to follow that thing. That clock should be ticking in your mind.
Okay.
See, the idea also is here to understand that we have to stick to a certain.
So if we
You have to
have to
come.
introduce ourselves, what is there any kind of template that we need to follow? I
No,
mean,
no, no. See, even if you're facing the interview and they
mm,
ask you,
mm,
how would you introduce yourself, you have to understand what are those points which define you as a human being. What are those points which doesn't really make any difference.
mm,
And then also at the same time, what you are doing right now.
mm,
The background is important, but not as much. It is definitely important, but not so much. And how are you indulging right now? What's your तुम अभी क्या कर रहे हो वो important है
mm.
मतलब अभी तुम्हारा क्या चल रहा है you know? अभी what are the elements that you're involved in what as in apart from the academics example
Okay.
like you mentioned sports and everything which is
Mm.
fine but for, how do you let's say kill your time no
How
how
do
do you
you?
kill your time how do you
Okay.
kill your when you're
Okay.
bored what do you do
Okay.
for
Okay.
example
Okay. Got
you
it.
know so all of that also becomes important. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Sambhav.
Hi everybody, my name is Sambhav. I am from Sirsa, Haryana. I have done my graduation from University of Delhi. I quit my job last year and to prepare for MBA exam. So I gave MBA exams like CAT and ZAT and couldn't make it. So I'm very visionary about movies and I love watching movies. I'm very particular about the vision of a film. So that's why I just thought of pursuing direction in filmmaking. I love writing scripts and even stand-up acts. Moreover, there is a phrase or a quote just I want to add कि कहानी लेखक की पैसा प्रोड्यूसर का किरदार एक्टर का लेकिन पिक्चर डायरेक्टर की सो दैट इज इट
Okay, nice. And is this your first attempt at FTI?
यस सर
Okay. When did you graduate?
सर आई ग्रेजुएटेड लास्ट ईयर 2024
And क्या था तेरा what was your specialization?
so my specialization was finance and management but I was doing an e-commerce job at Vadam Teas. It was a startup.
Fine, fine. No, I asked you what was the specialization in your education.
Management.
Okay, okay. Cool. ठीक है, we'll come back to you. Okay, Nandita.
Hi everyone, my name is Nandita and was born in Manali. I grew up in Dehradun and currently I'm in Delhi pursuing my bachelor's. I study in SRCC and I'm pursuing economics. It's a very interesting subject, but I found my inclination in cinema a little later in life. Um, Cinema makes me very curious. I grew up in a household where everyone was interested in films, watching films, mm, just that. So, as far as killing time is concerned, I have tried making my own short films. I have tried filming people back home. It started off with photography, and then somehow I realized that following a script and letting just elements be and recording that is something that I'm interested in. So, which got me here. And I have appeared for the test before. I got through with the objective part of the paper, but was not able to crack the subjective part. So I am hopeful about that.
I missed the last bit. You said you cracked the objective of
Yes.
FTI. Okay,
Yes.
fine. Last year. Okay. Cool. And where you said, where are you from? You said Uttarakhand. So,
Manali, Himachal.
okay, Himachal. ठीक है, चलो, let's begin. So, let's jump into the question answer thing. Okay, we'll begin today. I have not too many things on the plate. Let me give me a second. Just give me a second. I think I'm mistaken. So, let's begin with the question. How do I share it? Just give me a second. I think you will have to assist me, one of you. Yeah, I got it. Can you see this picture? Is it visible? Okay. ठीक है. First question of the day. Write a short story based on the given photograph. Okay. I will not brief anything. Write down the answer, and then when we're discussing the answer, we'll try and tackle all kinds of problems that you may have all kinds of mistakes that we may have made. Okay. And mind you, mistakes is not a problem. This is the only place where you can afford to make a mistake. You better to make mistakes. Here, you just go all out, go wild, make mistakes. Nobody's going to shout at you or going to judge you. बट यहाँ पे मिस्टेक्स, यहाँ पे गलती करोगे तो बातें होंगी, चर्चा होगा, डिस्कशन होगा, बातें समझ में आ जाएंगी, ठीक है? एग्जाम में नहीं करोगे। एम आई मेकिंग सेंस पीपल? तो यहाँ पे तुमको बिल्कुल किसी को सोचना भी नहीं है, स्ट्रेस नहीं लेना है, जो सामने आता है लिखना शुरू कर दो एंड देखते हैं उसके बाद क्या होता है, ठीक है? सो राइट अ शॉर्ट स्टोरी. I think I will give you for the first question. I think I'll give you 20 minutes. Okay, it is 7:23. Let's say 7:25 right now. 7:45, we get back. Is it okay? Huh, people? Cool. And my headphones are on. Okay, so if you have a question, just call out.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ बोल बोल, सॉरी मैं को अनम्यूट नहीं करने बन हो रहा
Um, so I had a doubt. Can
था.
we mix languages though when we're writing an answer?
See, for this question, you do just whatever you want. Okay. And then we will analyze कि how much of it is okay, how much of it is not okay.
Okay.
अभी तो कुछ भी जो मन में आ रहा दिल खोल करके लिखिए. Two more minutes. You start winding up now. But just last 1 minute. And it is absolutely okay if you couldn't finish. It's okay. चलिए जी, चलिए शुरू करते हैं. हो गया, इट्स ओके. मतलब इफ यू कुडंट फिनिश इट्स ओके, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. हमें वहां पहुंचना है कि वी स्टार्ट फिनिशिंग ऑन टाइम. सो आई डोंट एक्सपेक्ट you guys to be. So who will go first? Uh, Sambhav?
Oh, sir, I couldn't write much, but I was just explaining the setup, the
Mhm.
space, the time, and the characters. So basically, I started with in a busy setting of a small market when the sun has already risen enough to light up the street with motivation, which is
Mhm.
required to start off the day. Everyone
Mhm.
has already stepped out of their homes to earn the daily bread. And
Mhm.
Gopi and Ravi, which I just gave the characterization to these two people,
Mhm.
that Gopi and Ravi, they were also one of them. So the street is full of e-rickshaws behind them, honking against each other. The
Mhm.
mood was shifting from early freshness to expected frustration because the time was of noon or basically 11 to 12 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Then I explained the shops besides them were also the main contributors, asking the customers to, and in their high-pitched tone, to enter their respective shops so that they can make a sale. So in this fast-running
Okay.
setup, Gopi and Ravi are in their own zone in thinking something, basically getting ready to kick off the day. Both were
Mhm.
religious, as we can see there is a tilak on their head, and so they carry the same occupation. Ravi was more concerned with the money he's going to make because वो अपने गले में देख रहा है जो उसका box है. And but Gopi
रवि कौन
was
वाला है? एक.
Ravi with the blue shirt guy.
Okay. Okay.
And Gopi was more concerned by getting मतलब with getting ready to start her day. तो मैं यहीं तक ही पहुंचा था बस.
Fine. ठीक है. How have you written this down also, or
नहीं सर,
how much
मैंने
of?
लिखा है पूरा जो भी आपको बताया वो सारा लिखा
नहीं तो अभी नेक्स्ट ना, संभव जब भी हम बात करेंगे ना,
है.
तो जस्ट रीड आउट व्हाट यू हैव रिटन. समझ रहे हैं?
Got it. Yes,
See,
sir.
the idea is to understand a lot of things. For example, how you write, how you make sentences. Speaking is something else. You know, while writing, my brain works very different. Right?
I
तो
was
तूने जो लिख,
narrating.
हाँ,
I
I get it,
was.
I get it,
Huh,
I get it. Because मेरे को,
got it.
I'm not judging, I'm not questioning, not even questioning your improvisational skills or your imagination. No, not at all. What I'm
Got
going
it.
to judge is how fast are you in writing all of that, and how have you completed your sentences. Are there too
Got
many
it.
mistakes in your sentences because you're
Got
under
it.
pressure? Okay.
Got it.
Or are there not so many mistakes? And then, for
Got
example, or do you tend to skip a sentence? At times, the brain is working and we are writing, but the writing can't cope up. So,
got it.
brain thinks कि हाँ मैंने लिख लिया, and it jumps on to the next sentence, sometimes. And you
Got
tend
it.
to skip a बीच वाला sentence. So, ये सब
Yes.
mistakes तो नहीं हो रहे हैं. The idea is to
नहीं नहीं नहीं.
make वो वहां पहुंच जाए. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
So, ठीक है. Who's Nadita? Will you go next? No. So I would prefer if you could just read out whatever you. Oh, yeah, a little louder if it's possible.
Loudly.
ठीक है, fine, fine. I can give you.
Fine. On a busy bustling street in Chandni Chowk came a slow voice. And so I have actually mixed both Hindi and English because
Fine, fine. No worries,
yeah.
no worries. Just carry.
ये नींबू मिर्ची की
And just
टांगी है
hold on,
भाई.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Sambhav, if it's possible, stay back and listen to every one of you, okay? Because
Yes, sir.
we're not just going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to learn from others' mistakes also, okay? So
Yes,
if it
sir.
is possible,
Obviously.
just try to stay back, okay? Fair enough. Chalo. ठीक है. Nanita, go ahead.
So on a busy bustling street in Chandni Chowk came a slow voice. ये नींबू मिर्ची क्यों टांगी है भाई? Says Sukhi, chewing a fresh pan. Mani looks at his pandan around his neck and says, तुम नजर लगाओगे हमारे तरीके को? जलते हो, हमारे पास ज्यादा पान खाने कस्टमर लोग आते हैं. Sukhi widens his eyes and in disbelief, and at the witty insult he says, हम जलते हैं? जिसके पान के पत्ता ही नीम जैसा कड़वा होगा, उसके तरीके से हम क्यों जलेंगे भाई? Mani gets agitated and claps back as he opens the lid of his pan condiments. जिसकी मिश्री में स्वाद नहीं और शायरी में मिठास नहीं. Right when he was about to complete his rhyme, a beautiful woman walked past them. She giggled a little, watching them quarrel. They quickly fixed their pan दांत and said, बताइए कैसा खाएंगे, मीठा, फीका, मिसवाक, फायर पान खाएंगे आप? फायर पान एकदम फायर बना के देंगे आपको. They quickly bind their pan leaves with gulkan, saunf and mukhwas and extended it to the girl. She looks at them, smiles, and then turns back as a voice comes from behind. Baby, ye lo tumhari softie. They sulk looking at each other and offer their freshly made pans to each other. नींबू मिर्ची लगाई तो तुम्हारे लिए थी, बट अब लगता है कि सॉफ्टी वाले के लिए लगा.
अब लगता है कि softy वाली के लिए लगा.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. It's just that I thought it's a little too short, right? Okay. A little too short, but very nice. Very nice vis-a-vis the structure of the story. Okay. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to each one of you. Okay. Yeah, Vamshi.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So the title of the story is a day of Shiva and Parvati. Okay. So even before the first rays of sun hit the Kashi Ganga gates, Shiva and Parvati days begin. While Parvati begins her day with cleansing herself, Shiva goes out to bring daily groceries. Shiva walks through the narrow lanes of Kashi in the dim light. Streets are empty and cold, but rich in old ancient architecture, half visible under the electric light. Shiva buys vegetables from the market, puts them in a paper bag, and goes back. By the time he reaches home, Parvati already started doing her puja. Shiva silently puts vegetable in the corner and goes back to cleanse himself. Shiva takes two baskets lying at the corner of the house. He starts refilling each box in the basket. In the first, he refills small boxes with the spices, and at last, he refills big box with the bund. I don't know what it is called in English or Hindi, sir. वो white color का होता है ना? It's like corn, थोड़ा white color का होता है. I don't know what they are called.
What exactly is this?
Uh,
What did you say? Boom.
like some kind of boom.
Is it a masala?
बेलपुर में डालते हैं ना सर व्हाइट कलर वाला.
Dahi.
दही नहीं,
Curd.
थर्ड नहीं, बेलपुर में व्हाइट कलर होता है ना, और
Okay. Anyways.
राइस जैसा.
Oh, acha, I got it.
हाँ हाँ.
So okay. It's called
ओके.
murmura here in Mumbai.
हाँ,
Yeah.
मुरमुरा राइट, मुरमुरा.
Okay, fine. Okay,
So
fine.
so after that, Shiva and Parvati takes the blessings of the Lord Shiva. Shiva lifts the basket to help Parvati carry it on her around her neck, and then both of them leave. By the time they hit the street, it is fully crowded with the ongoing visitor bucks who came to visit the Kashi. The streets are vibrant and booming with the people uh, from different regions, and in the corners they could even see the white foreigners clicking, walking around with camera around their neck and a sense of wonder in their face. Shiva and Parvati sell street food at the different corners of the same street. Sometimes the sales are good, and the other times they barely get anything. By that time, final Ganga Aarti happens at the Ghats of Kashi. Shiva goes to Parvati and leaves the street. Shiva takes basket from the Parvati and carries two baskets on his back while Parvati refreshes herself beside him. They both walk towards the home. That's all, sir.
Okay, so just explain me one thing. Do you mean to say these two characters are Shiva and Parvati?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So which
They
one
are
is Shiva?
couples. Sir?
Which one is Shiva? Which one is Parvati?
Actually, I thought she is a female.
The one with the gamcha, the red gamcha. I mean,
Yes,
both of
yes,
them
yes,
have.
yes.
The
So this both.
blue shirt is a male, you thought?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and this red color is a female, I thought.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's discuss now. Okay. So my first question to all three of you: what is the most striking thing that you see here in the image? The most striking thing that, and it's very subjective. तुमको जो striking लग रहा हो सकता है मुझे नहीं लगे, मुझे जो लग रहा हो सकता है तुमको नहीं लगे. Fair enough. The idea is to understand yourself. Now, Nandita, what is the most striking thing in the image? At the first glance, what do you?
I think so. Just how I started the story itself, I saw that नींबू मिर्ची first thing. It's like
Okay.
कोई काम कैसा भी हो, कितना छोटा कितना बड़ा, आप उसको समझते हो अपने लिए जरूरी. So that नींबू मिर्ची was the first thing on that pandan that got my eye.
Okay. Anything else? Which is very interesting to your eyes, very unique, very. Anything else? Okay, Sambhav. Mute, unmute.
अरे सॉरी सॉरी सो जो नींबू मिर्ची वाला है वो मेरे दिमाग में भी आया था, बट आई वाज कंसर्न्ड विद कि जो ये ब्लू शर्ट वाला बंदा है इसका थोड़ा जो जो भी है काट वो छिपा हुआ है, सो आई वाज नॉट श्योर कि भाई इसके पास भी क्या पता पिछली साइड पे नींबू मिर्ची लगाओ. तो इज इट द राइट वे टू थिंक in that direction? And the second
Arey,
thing,
hi. Wait. First, get out of this. There is no right way of thinking. Whatever you think is the right way. समझ रहा है? Okay.
got it.
Now, yeah.
Now the second thing is जो इसका मतलब ड्रेसिंग सेंस है, जो भी लड़का इन द ब्लू शर्ट, इट इज मोर ऑफ अ गवर्नमेंट स्कूल टाइप्स. तो हो सकता है कि ये स्कूल से आया हो सीधा ये काम करने. एक ये सोचा था.
और क्या चीज वेरी अपीलिंग है या वेरी कैप्टिवेटिंग है, ऐसा कुछ है?
द काउ बेसिकली जो पीछे से जा रही है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कुछ ऐड ऑन कर सकते थे उसका.
ओके फाइन. ओके कृष्णा.
Sir, the first striking thing was this both the two characters in front of us. So when I realized that both of them might be couple. I just took that scenario, and the city is bustling. There are cows, and there are a lot of people behind them, right? And the streets are very narrow, but it is crowded. So the first thing that struck in my mind was like something of Kashi narrow lanes. So I went to that Kashi to tell.
No, which is fine. Okay. Okay, fine. No, tell me one thing. None of you really got kind of attracted to the color of the the picture.
Yes.
Like, what do you think of the color scheme of the image? Sambhav?
सर काफी फ्रेश सी है, मतलब पॉजिटिव वाइब्स दे रही है.
Okay.
मतलब मूड बहुत लाइट है एंड बहुत मोटिवेशन से भरा हुआ है.
और कुछ है?
और तो कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा.
Okay. Krishna?
So I think it's early morning, sir. So the light is not that harsh, neither that soft. So I don't think it is either afternoon or evening. So
Okay.
I thought morning, so that's why I started narration with the morning itself.
Okay, fine. Manita?
So you were talking about the overall color scheme. I mean, I see a lot of red, and then you also said there's a
There is
gamcha around the neck. I don't know
And
when I see
and
people
what do you एक minute. You see a lot of red, and what do you also see? A lot
the
of
gamcha.
something. Ah, Chankata Kamcha around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know, that language came to me suddenly, the rustiness. Plus also, I don't know, I associate red with being very rustic, being very aggressive, being very passionate in some sense, very raw. So that is something that I wanted
Okay.
to highlight even in the conversation ke matlab, it's a very
Okay.
real outspoken thing.
Okay. Okay. Nice. So next time when an image comes to you, the idea is not just to look at the characters. Okay. Also to understand the emotion hidden in the image. You know, like it's a universal thing. Red is a lot of brings a lot of warmth. Red is associated with warmth also. Red is definitely also associated with passion. Red is associated with aggression, as she said. Red is associated with anger and violence. But you have to understand कि इस इमेज में रेड को हम कैसे एक्सप्लॉइट कर सकते हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल ओके सी द आइडिया इज योर स्टोरी हैज टू बी perfect, not just in its structure and its interesting quotient, but also in how apt you have written, how apt से समझ में आ रही बात कितना तुम्हारा स्टोरी जो है उपयुक्त है मैंने करेक्ट है उपयुक्त नहीं होगा शायद कितना स्टोरी तुम्हारा करेक्टली जा रहा है इमेज से फॉर एग्जाम्पल कृष्णा यू स्टार्टेड ऑफ विद शिव पार्वती ठीक है
Yes, sir.
story. Huh? And you took the first mistake you did, and like always, like last time also when you were here, you jump onto the thing. No, don't jump. पहली बात तो if you look carefully, both of them are male figures.
Yeah.
This one, the Gamcha wala guy, the left one, this side wala guy, he looks like a girl, but he's apparently a very young boy. You know, he has this face curve features which are a little
I mean,
feminine, but he is actually a boy. If you look very carefully, okay. Also, except for Nandita, the two of you did not understand that ये पान वाला मामला है पान बेच रहे हैं है ना तो पान becomes very important here मैंने स्टोरी में अपफ्रंट ऐसे ओवरलोडेड है कि भैया दो पान वाले लोग हैं एंड कृष्णा सेड काशी है जो करेक्ट है मतलब मुझे तो देख के काशी वाली वाइब्स आ रही है ना तो हम ये सारे जो चार पांच फर्स्ट इमेजेस आए और फर्स्ट जो रिफ्लेक्शंस हुए इनसे हम सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग फास्ट बिकॉज द ब्रेन हैज देयर इज नो टाइम टू इवन थिंक टू मच ओके फर्स्ट ये क्या बन सकता था लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरे अंदर क्या आया था इसको देख रही पान खाए सैया हमार इट्स अ इंटरेस्टिंग सॉन्ग फ्रॉम द बॉलीवुड फिल्म सम यस बॉलीवुड फिल्म एंड पान खाए सैया हमार बना और फिर बनारस एंड बनारसी पान और ये वो एंड आई कुड हैव immediately I would definitely have given a minute or so of thinking then after I had processed a kind of a vague image of what the story is going to be like and फिर मैं कहीं ना कहीं इन एलिमेंट्स को घुसा देता ठीक है एंड देन उसका जो वार्मथ है अब वार्मथ तो मुझे अभी पता है तो मैं घुसाऊंगा तुम लोगों को शायद इस स्टेज पे नहीं पता है तो तुम शायद अभी नहीं घुसाओगे विच इज फाइन बट आइडिया इज टू रीच देयर तो मैं वार्मथ ले आता मतलब थोड़ा सा रोमांस होता तुमने किसी ने बोला ना एक लड़की आती वो इसका आई थिंक नंदिता का था वो वाला एलिमेंट कहीं से आ जाता शायद थोड़ा सा इधर से कुछ आया जो कि इमेज में अपफ्रंट दिया हुआ है बिल्कुल फोरग्राउंड में एकदम है ना तो आइडिया इज con- to to weave a story which is just करेक्ट जितना करेक्ट रहेगा उतना तुमको नंबर मिलेगा अब शिव पार्वती से प्रॉब्लम ये है कि कोई ऐसा इशू नहीं है, तुम शिव पार्वती को यू आर बेसिकली योर स्टोरी एंडेड विद दिस फ्रेम कृष्णा, राइट? They
Yes.
finally reach here, okay, and which is fine, it's not a problem, but it did not look. Halagi, it may you may uh, argue that Shiv Parvati and Kashi and all kind of, but ये थोड़ा सा outstretched है, थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हो गया, but मतलब थोड़ा सा और करेक्ट होना चाहिए, ठीक है? बट एटलीस्ट यू अचीव वन थिंग, यू कुड राइट सम राइट अ लेंथियर थिंग, एंड व्हिच मेड सम सेंस. ऐसा नहीं कि इट वाज ऑल नॉनसेंस. I thought it was just not fitting as much. The
Okay.
story was in itself
Because
fine.
yeah, my whole thought process went wrong when I assumed that boy to be a girl.
That's the biggest problem that and
Yes.
it's a very personal problem that you have. You jump, you immediately jump, and you don't even look back or sit back and think, if I'm going to begin something, is it correct or is it not? It's a generic problem with you. It's a very personal problem. You have to take your time. Don't jump. Nobody, you can't उतना मेहनत करने का कोई फायदा नहीं. If it just मैंने यहाँ पे तो खैर it's a very subjective thing. It's a question which तुम वाइल्ड होकर के सोचना भी चाहिए और सोचे भी. But there are many questions where again you have this tendency of immediately jumping. अरे ये तो उसका मतलब यही है. Sit down, think back, read the question again, look up, spend time on the question. The more you spend time on the question, the better your answer will be. Don't jump into it. Okay? This is very important, people. Okay. Now, this is the image वाला क्वेश्चन था. क्वेश्चन जब आएंगे ना, अभी मैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इनफैक्ट जो दूंगा, I would suggest, now it's a very important pointer I'm giving. Okay. Don't jump. If it's 20 marks a question, spare 2 marks. 20 minutes का question, spare 2 minutes in just organizing your answer. या तो यहाँ पे या रफ में पेपर में कहीं पे. Don't jump. Don't jump and start writing. Even when it is like really critical, आधा घंटा बचा and you have 3 answers to give. Divide your answers in a way that you still spend 10-15 seconds in understanding. You will cheat. Your brain will suggest, I know the answer. I know I've achieved it here. Somewhere it's there. No. It's very deceptive. Take 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Even in the most critical of the times, think twice. Recall what you have thought. Just go through it once again. And then you start writing. Don't jump onto writing. You will otherwise most likely make a mistake. And one mistake could be deadly. It's always one mistake and you're out. So you have to be 100% perfect. You can't just afford any mistake. People are very, very, it's a cutthroat competition. You can't afford any mistake. So pointers from here. Nandita, your approach was very nice. Okay, coming to Nandita's story. Now, you banked upon a lot of dialogues, and which is fine. Is absolutely fine. But try to cut it down. Until they have specifically asked you to write a scene with dialogues. If they have asked you to write a scene with dialogues, you better do that. But otherwise, try not to dwell too much into dialogues. There are reasons. The reason is, जितना हमको लगता है ना कि डायलॉग राइटिंग बहुत इजी है, उतना ही डिफिकल्ट है. समझ रही हो? इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में या बॉलीवुड में, आई एम आल्सो राइटिंग स्क्रीन प्लेज. देयर आर वेरी पर्टिकुलर डायलॉग राइटर्स. तो डायलॉग राइटर्स को बुलाया था, भाई कि तुम करो हमारा फिल्म को, हमने तो लिख लिया, डायलॉग्स भी लिख लिया, लेकिन तुम आओ और उसको फिनिश करो, उसको करेक्ट करो. क्योंकि दे अंडरस्टैंड अ वेरी डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज. Okay, that girl peeping from the door, that's my little one. Okay, she's very curious. ये क्या अचानक से शुरू हो गया डायडा का, ये तो कभी होता ही था. So I'm coming to FTI classes after a long time actually. Anyways, coming back to the story. So try not to dwell too much into dialogues. It's a very important पॉइंट हियर. ओके, तीनों के लिए भाई, सिर्फ इसको ही नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है. कृष्णा एंड संभव. Second thing, the way you wrote your story was very nice. The way you constructed your sentences, beautiful, very lovely. ठीक है, very nice, very interesting. The dialogue, the charm of the dialogue, that whatever dialogues that you've written, and you could capture the essence of that space. So which is very nice, fantastic. That's your strength. I assume. Okay, keep that in mind. Work on your strengths even more, and weaknesses, work on your weaknesses all the more, but strengths be important. Okay. Okay. What else from this first exercise? So इंग्लिश या हिंदी है ना. सो डायलॉग में यही चक्कर हो गया. अब फंस गई. अब तो हिंदी में ही, अब इंग्लिश में तो डायलॉग बोलेगा नहीं. ठीक है. तो एक बैलेंस हमें सी, आई थिंक इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, दे हैव started asking you pre-exam which language will you be appearing your exam entrance in. इंग्लिश में होगा आंसर या हिंदी में होगा. ठीक है. तो तुमको वो मार्क करना पड़ता है कि इंग्लिश में दूंगी या फिर हिंदी में दूंगी. ठीक है. अगर तुमने इंग्लिश किया है, बोला है, तो तुमको इंग्लिश मीडियम को काइंड ऑफ फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. बट दैट डजंट मीन कि यू कांट यूज हिंदी इन बिटवीन. आई हैव डन इट. आई हैव रिटन माई स्टोरीज व्हेन आई वाज फेसिंग माई एंट्रेंसेस बोथ द इयर्स. आई हैव रिटन डायलॉग एंड आई हैव समटाइम्स ऐसा वर्ड्स आ जाता है जो कि जिसका इंग्लिश का कोई वही नहीं है, वर्ड नहीं है, सिनोनिमस वर्ड. तो मैं तो उस जगह पे हिंदी ही डाल देता था. आई डेंट केयर. आइडिया बस मेरा तो था, भैया मेरे को निकाल देना है. अंदर घुस रहा है, चल रहा है ना, उसको निकाल दो पेपर. और निकाला और काम भी हो गया ना, हो गया. दोनों बार मेरा, एक बार में इंटरव्यू नहीं क्लियर हो पाया, सेकंड टाइम में इंटरव्यू भी हो गया. तो कहने का मतलब कि अप्रूव्ड है. ठीक है. बट एक खास नंबर ऑफ, मतलब एक खास परसेंटेज ऑफ दैट मिक्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज, नॉट 50-50. जस्ट बेयर दैट मैन. और 50-50 हो गई अगर तुम डायलॉग्स हिंदी में ले लोगे. इफ दे हैव आस्क्ड यू इन अ क्वेश्चन, describe or write or build a scene from the image or from the whatever given brief that they have given in the question. There it's okay. If they've asked you, or if your characters are Hindi speaking, then you better go Hindi, even if your English medium is in English. Why is this important? Why is the English medium क्यों पूछ रहे हैं और हिंदी medium क्यों पूछ रहे हैं? Because then accordingly they will send your question papers, your answer sheets to those people who are better in those languages. Am I making sense? Sense? Sambhav, are you there?
Yes, sir.
तो तुम अगर हिंदी बोलते हो, लिखते हो कि मैं हिंदी में प्रेफर करूंगा, और उसमें तुम इंग्लिश लिखे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन तुम्हारा मेजोरिटी जो है, जो तुम्हारा सब टेक्स्ट है, वो हिंदी में होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो तुम्हारा मोस्ट लाइकली तुम्हारा पेपर किसी हिंदी वाले के, हिंदी भाषी के पास जाएगा. वो चेक करेगा. जिसने इंग्लिश मेंशन किया उसका इंग्लिश वाले के पास जाएगा, वो चेक करेगा. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हिंदी वाले को इंग्लिश नहीं आता और इंग्लिश वाले को हिंदी नहीं आता. बट ये सोचने वाली, समझने वाली बात कि ये क्या हो रहा है ना. एनीवेज, एंड संभव अब से जो है, कैसा भी हो, टूटा फूटा नर्सरी का, ग्रेड 2 का, ग्रेड 4 का स्टोरी लिख, लेकिन लिख. एंड लिखेगा, जो लिखेगा वही पढ़ेगा. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
ओके. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस दिस बिकम्स क्रिटिकल. राइटिंग, and writing in time, and of course writing good. These
Got
three
it.
things, and above and जो भी है, all your imagination. You have to expand your imagination, people. You can't do this. You have to really go wide. जितना वाइड जाओगे उतना अच्छा है. ठीक है. ओके, कपल ऑफ थिंग्स जो हम लोग अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं ना, उसको आंसर करने में भी डिस्कस. वेट, आई एम जस्ट स्टॉपिंग this and coming to the next question. Give me a second, please. आ गया भाई. हाँ. ओके, तो ये जो क्वेश्चन है ना, This is again. Can you see the question? Is it big enough? दिख रहा है? ओके अभी एक मिनट होल्ड ऑन सुन लो पहले सुन लो सब ठीक है ध्यान से अभी इसको पढ़ो एक बार दो बार तीन बार पढ़ो आई गिव ये 400 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन है आई विल गिव यू अनदर 20 मिनट्स ओके बट पढ़ो एक बार या दो बार पढ़ो 1 मिनट लो 1.5 मिनट लो स्ट्रक्चर बनाओ मेंटली या पेपर पे आई वुड प्रेफर पेपर पेन पे नो पिछली बार तुम लोगों ने सिर्फ कृष्णा ने एक चीज किया था जो तुम दोनों ने किया था गिव गिव अ टाइटल टू योर स्टोरी गिव अ ओके दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गिविंग अ टाइटल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट so you and giving a title is not so easy by the way you will need to perhaps spare another 30 seconds later on to understand what the best title of the story will be should be okay so keep that extra 30 seconds aside so give a title to your story read once twice map out the whole story somewhere roughly. I don't mean to say कि पूरा दिमाग में बना लो फिर लिखने बैठो, but have a very roughly clear idea, okay? If not very clear and lucid idea, roughly clear idea, and then you jump on writing. Point number two, keep a tap of time. तीनों अपने सामने एक घड़ी रख या जो भी रख या टाइमर लगा कुछ भी कर which keeps reminding you कि भाई टाइम जा रहा है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है वो प्रेशर आना चाहिए ठीक है समझ रहे हो कृष्णा ओके and it is 8:16, let's say 8:15. We get back at 8:30, 8:35, 8:35. ठीक है? Okay. You think you need some more time?
सर मुझे एक क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा डाउट है
हाँ बोलो.
सो द सेकंड लाइन an unwed mother of 2-year-old kid living with her parent she is unwed right so whom does this 2-year-old kid is exactly living with
अबे सोच ना समझ सोच ना think थोड़ा समझ ना what exactly could it mean then? It's very simple. It's very simple. Just think of again. एक बार फिर से जो इमेज बना है ना तेरा उसको छोड़ फिर से पढ़ कि ये क्या हो गया ये क्यों हो गया ये क्या पूछ थिंक अगेन इट्स वेरी इट्स वेरी अपफ्रंट इट्स वेरी ऑन द फेस ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, ठीक है सोच जो आता है फिर लिख स्टोरी लिख लेगा उसके बाद हम डिस्कस करेंगे ओके 8:35 ओके आई गिव यू 2 more minutes 8:37 चलो कुछ लो सी यू गाइस My headphones are on. If you have a question, call me out. Okay, start winding up. 1 more minute left. Okay, let's begin. Where is Vamsi Krishna? Anyways. Yeah, हो गया संभव नंदिता कूल तो कर शुरू कर नंदिता शुरू कर
Start.
Yeah, just read out the question once again, please.
She is a shopaholic in her late 20s and an unwed mother of a 2-year-old kid living with her parents. She barely makes it to work on time almost every day. Create and write a sequence without dialogues that introduces the character and establishes her personality clearly. Okay.
Cool.
Should I start with the title?
Yes.
So the title is Add to Cart. And
Yeah.
this
Sorry.
is Add to Cart.
Add to cart. Oh.
Yeah. So against the dim light of her phone screen shone two eyes burdened with dark circles. Eyes darted at her shopping cart when a notification popped. Add items worth rupees 999 and availed free shipping. This was enough to launch Annie into a shopping rabbit hole. She scrolled through the mom and baby essentials section, pushing items left, right, center into her cart. Bloomers, frocks, mittens, caps, pacifiers, everything. She looked over to her side. In deep sleep was Pia, her 2-year-old, who was soon to become a walking, talking fashionista thanks to her mom, who was obsessed with retail therapy. She skimmed through other sections: home decor, festive corner, party essentials, 4-in-1 cutting board, censored life, but she suddenly stopped at menswear. Men in polo shirts and formal pants. She sighed, looked over at Pia, and then moved on with the next section. Goldies for oldies, a BP machine, wristband, back brace and neck brace, medicine organizers and whatnot. She looked over at a photo frame, specifically a family portrait. With the mother-daughter duo stood a very grumpy elderly couple behind them. She focuses on the neck brace and figures out that it's torn. She adds another one to the cart. Finally, she goes to her heavily loaded cart that says you have availed free shipping and 5% off on your overall order, bringing it down to a staggering 14,999. She looks over at the clock and breaks into a panic. It was 4 a.m. She knew she'd be late to work. The following morning, she rushed out of the house, stuffing her mouth with a paratha, fixing her shoes, and she tumbled and fell over the boxes, the empty boxes from her last purchase. She looked at her wristwatch and yes, she was late.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You mentioned somewhere towards the end, the following morning, right?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, fine. I'm just understanding. Fair enough. Now, I just couldn't follow you somewhere from the first couple of lines. Is she with her mother at the shopping mall? You said?
No, so she's scrolling through her phone at night because
Acha,
she
she
used to
is
scroll
scrolling
on.
through phone at night. Okay.
Yes, this is all
Okay.
appearing on her phone one after the other.
Okay.
She has a
I see.
baby, so she's going through the baby section. Then she's looking over to her daughter. Then she stops at the men's section, but she realizes it doesn't have a man, so she sighs. Then she comes across a
Okay.
few goldies for oldies and all that.
Now, you mentioned she sighed. पहला mistake तो ये है कि the following morning you said, right? But the moment the following morning comes up, that actually makes it a different scene, by the way. Okay. Just थोड़ा detour हो रहा हूँ. Anybody who can explain what exactly is the scene? When does the scene change, rather? That's the question. In films, when do we say the scene has changed? What are those elements that change the scene? Krishna?
Uh, Geography or
Okay.
surroundings.
Surroundings, matlab geography. Anything else? You're right, partly right. Okay, two things change. When two things change, the scene changes. One is geography, the space. Second is time.
Yes, yes, yes. Great.
So whenever there's a change of time or change of space, it's a different scene. Okay. And they have specifically asked you to write not forget about scene. They've asked you to write a sequence. Okay. Sequence of events. Or sequence. Sequence actually is a chunk of or a part of a scene. It's not the whole scene. But that doesn't mean you can't write the whole scene in this question. That it doesn't suggest that. But sequence का मतलब होता है एक part of the scene. हाँ, until कि it is sequence of scenes. Sequence का बहुत सारा connotation हो सकता है. If they are suggesting or somewhere you come across describe in sequences of scenes, मतलब कि you have to describe in separate scenes, a couple of scenes, 2, 3 scenes का sequence. But when they are just mentioning sequence, it means it's a part of the scene. Now, what is a scene? A scene, like any story, must have an opening, a middle, and an end. Okay, so they're not expecting you to write a complete perfect scene. This is the idea is to understand how you are introducing your character. They were mentioning it. Write a sequence without a and that introduces the character and establishes her personality. Okay, let's say this scene was where after whatever you have written, she would have uttered the first word, the first word of dialogue. Let's say, तो वहां से तुम्हारा सीन आगे बढ़ता लेकिन तुमने वहीं तक ही छोड़ना था. ठीक है, तो तुमने बहुत अच्छा लिखा है, करेक्ट है, सही है. उसके साथ जो भी हो रहा है, एक जगह पे गड़बड़ हो गया. वो ये कि when she comes across the men's section and then she sighs, right? That's what you've written. The problem is कि when she sighs, how do I, the audience, understand what's happening inside her? You know, possibly she sighed looking at the image of the character on the screen, or was she sighed for some reason? What could have been a better way? What do you think could have been a better way to describe that there's a man which is missing? Unwed mother. Unwed mother doesn't mean that she doesn't have a man. She may have a man, but not married. That's the thing.
I feel like, yeah, sorry.
And that she's living with her parents. That's another important thing. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought this was more like, sighing as in when you're a mother of a 2-year-old, you're either being told to get married or you don't have someone around, or she may have someone around, I don't know. But the reason for her sigh is kind of like coming in terms with what her situation is, plus how I'm able to establish that there is no man and there was no man to begin with is because there is a portrait, a family portrait that establishes the grandparents, her daughter, and the character itself.
Anyways, एक आई थिंक तेरा वॉइस थोड़ा क्रैकलिंग है, थोड़ा कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हारे साउंड पे, तो आई कुडंट रियली फॉलो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू वर सेइंग, बट आई कुड मेक आउट अ जिस्ट ऑफ द होल थिंग. सेकंड, अब एक चीज समझ, हाँ नदिता, दिस इज वेरी क्रिटिकल, अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ऑल थ्री ऑफ यू. The examiner or the reader who is reading your answer, make things simple for him. Okay, make his life simple. Is absolutely fine if you construct simple English sentences. Okay, is better rather, because उसका दिमाग में तो प्रोसेसर है, वो don't make him work too hard on reading your answer. You getting the point? The idea is to crack his head for him to give you numbers. Okay, imagination has nothing to do with the way you're writing down your imagination. Okay, the idea or the marks, maximum marks goes to the imagination, how imaginative you are. Okay, then how you have portrayed your imagination. Okay, this is very important. तीनों को संभव समझ में आ रही बात? तो एक तो पहला नंबर, रूल नंबर वन, ये तो रूल बना दो थोड़ा सिंपल इंग्लिश में, so that it's not very difficult for him to understand or to go about reading it. Even if that person, let's say, is a Harvard graduate or whatever, perfect in English, but still, have you guys read Kushwant Singh, by the way? Now, what do you think of his English? If you can recall, he is one wonderful, beautiful Indian writer with the most simplest English that I have come across, and still he is Kushwant Singh, revered. भगवान है बहुत लोग. तो आई थिंक we have to understand, we have to follow that path ना पहले. कंफ्यूजन्स बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए आंसर्स में. एकदम गली बंद, वो ऐसे मुंह में डाला और ऐसे घुल के अंदर चला गया, वैसा वाला खाना देना उसको. ठीक है, एंड दैट डजंट मीन यू कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन इमेजिनेशन. ठीक है, इमेजिनेशन में कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं भाई. कपल ऑफ द अदर थिंग, मेक इट इंटरेस्टिंग, कम व्हाट में समहाउ मेक इट इंटरेस्टिंग. बात हो रही कैरेक्टर की ना, वो कैरेक्टर को पहले तो एवरी क्वेश्चन दैट यू कम अक्रॉस, the first thought should be, how do I make this answer interesting? Instead of just writing a good answer, aim at writing a good, interesting answer. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मिडवे पढ़ते पढ़ते उसको लगे हाँ ठीक है समझ गया मैं यार, स्टोरी क्या है तेरा समझ में आ गया, ओहो ठीक है 10 में से 6 ले ले, चल निकल आगे बढ़, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. बिकॉज ही इज अंडर प्रेशर बाबा. ही हैज टू पॉसिबली करेक्ट और चेक 3000 पेपर्स इन 2 days. तो ही कांट, वो भी इंसान है. ठीक है, तो उसको वो समझ के चीजों को करना. सो दीज आर कपल ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. वी हैव द आइडिया इज हियर टू क्रैक एफटीआई एंट्रेंस. द आइडिया इज नॉट हियर टू राइट the best story, right, as it, you have to understand that there's a difference. You have to crack this entrance crack करने के लिए वो जो उसका बंदे का साइकोलॉजी को समझना पड़ेगा. वो बंदा कौन है जो बैठ के पढ़ रहा होगा, उसके साथ क्या बीत रही होगी, स्ट्रेस में है, कितना ग्रास्प करेगा, कितना ग्रास्प नहीं करेगा, शायद फेड आउट हो चुका है अभी तक. एंड सो मेक थिंग्स वेरी इजी फॉर हिम, पॉइंट. But nevertheless, your construction is very good. Otherwise, construction sentence is very good. I'm not doubting that. It just reflected. I just realized I must mention. Sometimes वो होता है ना, कभी कभी लिखते लिखते बह जाते हैं हम ना, लिटरेचर बनाने लगते हैं. मत बना, लिटरेचर नहीं बनाना है हमें, उसको क्रैक करना है. उस बंदे वो जो भी बैठा है, और गलती से बाई चांस वो थोड़ा अगर मान ले नॉर्थ इंडिया का, कहीं बिहार बिहार का, यूपी का, आई एम माई सेल्फ फ्रॉम बिहार, बट माई पॉइंट इज कि मान ले ऐसा कोई हो जिसकी इंग्लिश उतनी टाइट, थोड़ी टाइट है मामला. Not that he's not good in English, but thoda sa, there will be a problem. And you don't know who is it going to. So it's a very important tip. So shopaholic, just because merely she does some shopping doesn't really suggest that she is actually a shopaholic. Until she does some strange shopping, mindless shopping. And I didn't realize, I didn't feel that whatever she was shopping was mindless. Was it somewhere mindless? I don't think so.
I
Okay.
mean,
नहीं बोलो 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 बोलो.
नहीं मतलब the amount of things that she is hoarding,
हाँ.
mittens, pacifiers, like a 4-in-1 kitchen tool, and then there are sensor lights, and then a wrist
Okay.
brace, back brace, everything.
Second thing, I would have said what I would have done. In fact, another tip for you because it enriches your answer. If it is possible, like you could have actually made her go shopping in a shopping mall, no? Right? The moment you make her come out in a space, you have so many other elements suddenly, to richen your answer for the lack of word. You see, कि वो स्पेस का कलर, स्पेस का ब्राइट एलिमेंट इज वार्मथ, सब कितना कुछ तुम उसमें एक लाइन में डिस्क्रिप्शन में ऐड कर सकते हो, तुम्हारा आंसर सडनली, क्योंकि तुमने वर्ल्ड दिखा दिया, राइट? तो एज मच एज पॉसिबल स्टे अवे फ्रॉम अ मैन होल्डिंग अ मोबाइल फोन एंड डूइंग शॉपिंग, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. मेक हर कम आउट, मेक हर कम reach, hit a mall, make her be present in a space which is very unique, very particular. Okay, that will definitely add some extra richness to your answer. तुमको लिखते लिखते ही तुमको दिखने लग जाएगा ना वो कहाँ से रिच हुआ. एंड मे बी वहां पे मॉल होता, जाती, वहां पे लोग वो कपल्स को देखती, एंड शी मे हैव मिस्ड यू नो someone from a life or something you could have done there. अभी क्या हो रहा है कि सिंस तुम उसको एक छोटे से इसमें कन्फाइन कर दिया है स्पेस में, तो ज्यादा कुछ कर नहीं पा रही है वो ना, ना कुछ ज्यादा कर रही है, और जिसके कारण हम ज्यादा कुछ कन्वे नहीं कर पा रहे, सब कुछ उसके अंदर बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, बट वो तुम कैसे बताओगे ना. यू नीड दीस एलिमेंट्स, एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड, टू हेल्प यू डिस्क्राइब व्हाट्स हैपनिंग विद योर कैरेक्टर. सो एज मच एज पॉसिबल, whenever possible, always rather bring her out in the open space, bring your characters, stick to your space. Now, when I was in FTII, there was a workshop. There's something called mise en scène. Have you guys heard of? I think Vamshi knows. You all know mise en scène? What is mise en scène? Okay, fine. We're not going to mise en scène. And believe me, nobody, I don't think FT is going to ever ask you a question on mise en scène, by the way. अब पूछेगा तो बहुत ही ऊपर ऊपर. They are not expecting you. तुमको सब अभी पता तो FT जाके क्या करोगे? अच्छा, तुम इधर काम पे लगो, है ना? But there was something called, there's a subtopic of mise en scène, which we were, somebody had come to teach us. There was time and space. Okay, and it's a third year workshop that we had. And साला प्रॉब्लम ये हुई कि आई विश कि वो वाला वर्कशॉप फर्स्ट ईयर में या सेकेंड ईयर में होता. कि suddenly he made us realize how cinema में time and space is so important. He made personally me, I realized how space is so powerful. For example, we can see all the windows here right now on the screen. If you can just have a glimpse of my room, okay, however it is, then some of just थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे करके एक बार दिखा दे खाली. Mostly black. That's it. Okay, Nanita, your whatever that is visible is visible. Okay, and Vamshi, एक बार तू भी ऐसे ऊपर नीचे करके दिखा दे. मैं कुछ दिख नहीं रहा था, वही white background दिख रहा. But anyways, my point is, I am sitting in my space. This space somewhere defines me because I end up choosing this messed up, some kind of lighting wala space. I have a baby, so quite expected कि rooms messed up रहेगा ये कितना भी साफ कर लो. So suddenly, without even uttering a word, you can actually communicate so much about me. I have not even opened a bat ball ka bag वहाँ पे, यहाँ पे some toys, yeah. The audience gets to know कि yeah, this character has something to do with a baby, or he is in a space where there is a small child. You see, that's the power of space, and that's the power of cinema. If we can encash that in our stories here, you will get the maximum, because that is precisely what they're looking for. A person who has this visual sense, who understands cinema is just not about dialogues or stories, cinema is not just about story kya tha. Cinema is more about feel, mood kya tha, right? That is the person, the examiner is looking for those people. Am I making sense? Okay. So, try to develop that habit of seeing a character, not just a character in solitude, but a character in a space. Space becomes very important. Okay. Is it okay if we spill over a little? 10-15 minutes? Krishna?
Yes. Yes, sir.
10 minutes, not more than that. Actually, I had a third question right now. But
Sir,
that
I
I
have
will
to
do.
read my part.
We will come to you. So, और दूसरी बात एक और चीज है ना. Roughly, how many words was that, Nandita? If you can just roughly can give me an idea.
Um,
My point is, could you stick to the required stipulated word limit?
yes, sir. Like
Oh,
E
okay, fine.
sheets, so
Great.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
कुछ चीजें समझ में आई मैंने जो बोला, because your answer is not wrong or right. It's not about writing a right answer or writing a wrong answer. Okay, it's about how to make your answers richer, way richer. How to expand on your imagination. FTII is looking for visual people who can see things, a little differently. See, like बहुत सारी फिल्में होती है ना कि यार क्या फिल्म थी यार, अच्छा ऐसा क्या था भाई, अरे मजेदार, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत अच्छा, स्टोरी पता, यार स्टोरी ऐसा कुछ नहीं था यार, लेकिन मजेदार फिल्म, बढ़िया, समझ रहे हो बात. स्टोरी ऐसा कुछ था नहीं, मतलब कि वो फिल्म में स्टोरी पे फोकस नहीं किया, जो 99.99 बॉलीवुड करता है, स्टोरी पे फोकस करता है. बट स्टोरी कुछ नहीं होगा शायद, लेकिन फिर भी बहुत गजब का पावरफुल इमोशंस इवोक कर पाया. तुमको वही अचीव करना है अपने आंसर्स में. समझ में आई संभव बात. चलो भाई, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. संभव.
सर मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, आ रही. अच्छा, मेरी कोई बात अगर नहीं समझ में आ रही हो, या मुझे तुम्हें लग रहा है ज्ञान बांट रहा है, तो ऐसे हाथ दिखा दिया करो, मैं समझ जाऊंगा. अच्छा, ज्यादा हो गया, फैल गया. ठीक है, ठीक है, चलो. हाँ, सब शुरू कर.
Okay. So the title of the sequence or the story is Passionate Eyes.
सॉरी, कम अगेन.
Passionate Eyes. Am I audible?
पैशनेट आइज. ओके, या fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Passionate Eyes. So I'm starting the sequence. So at 7 a.m. in the morning, Nana's mother wakes her up by warning her if she gets late today for the work, she will get a pay cut. Nana opens her eyes, yawned badly as she slept around 3 a.m. in the morning as she was playing with her baby, and her kid sleeps very late in the night. After waking up, Nana again runs to her baby boy and keeps on smiling when she sees her. Uh, After that, Nana gets ready for the work and asks her mother to take care of the child. Nana's father doesn't talk to her because of what has happened to 2 years ago. Her father is still angry with her for choosing her kid over a newly married simple life. But Nana makes sure that she takes care of her parents as well as her child. She takes a cab to the office. In the cab, she gets some time for herself. She opens up Mintra and check her cart every day if there is a price bro. Being lonely and surrounded by responsibility, shopping was her only escape to reality. The cart's total is almost 1 lakh rupees. That includes
Oh,
dresses for her kids, shawl for her mother, shoes for her father, and accessories and dresses for herself. After morning cows, and she reaches at work 10 minutes late today as well. As she passed by the HR gave her a skimmed look and said that Nana would have to go for a pay cut, which is equivalent for a day. Nana took a moment of sigh and went to her desk sadly. The first thing she did was deleting the silver chain of worth 2500 from the cart.
ओके, यही है। इसमें दो
हाँ,
तीन प्रॉब्लम्स है, दो तीन चार पांच प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, सब करते। एक तो पहली बात तुमने भी मिंत्रा पे कर दिया, ठीक है, बाहर निकालना, ठीक है। अवॉइड इन ऑनलाइन, ऑनलाइन तो अवॉइड कर, कुछ भी ऑनलाइन का रेफरेंस ही नहीं हो रहा। मैं तो कहूंगा हो सके तो फोन ही अवॉइड कर, फोन होना ही नहीं चाहिए कैरेक्टर के पास, उसकी लाइफ सिंपल नहीं होनी चाहिए, और एटलीस्ट तुम्हारी लाइफ सिंपल नहीं होनी चाहिए। तुम्हारी लाइफ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाएगी, आंसर अच्छे मजेदार बन सकते हैं, ठीक है, ठीक है, संभव।
got
ओके,
it.
सेकंड थिंग, ठीक है। पहले तुम्हें को एक चीज समझ में नहीं आई, तुमने कहा समवेयर कि देयर इज अ मैन, मैन का रेफरेंस कुछ तो आया था, वो क्या था? शुरू
मैन
शुरू
का
में,
रेफरेंस
सो बीच में कहीं पे सम कहीं पे तूने कुछ जिक्र किया, शी समथिंग अबाउट अ मैन, कोई आदमी है तुम्हारी कहानी में?
कहानी में उसके फादर हैं जो who is
ओके,
upset with her
हाँ,
for
फादर।
for basically choosing that kid over a newly married simple life
हाँ, अच्छा,
जो
ओके,
2 साल
फाइन फाइन,
पहले।
ओके ओके। अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना, एक तूने क्या किया है, ये इनका रिक्वायरमेंट कुछ और है क्वेश्चन का, बाय द वे। Okay, now I'm sure you're starting right now to understand these things, so it's okay, but you have to reach where they exactly, you should know what exactly are they asking for, you know. Now, what you've done is basically they said कि without dialogue, it's a very important part, without dialogue, हाँ भाई साहब। बट तुम्हारे पहले लाइन में ही माँ आती है और माँ उठाती है, माँ उसको कुछ तो बोल के उठाती है कि लेट हो रहा है ना। द आइडिया इज कि माँ आती है और उसको उठाती है विदाउट कुछ बोले, तब कैसे होगा? यही तो दिमाग दौड़ाना है, समझ रहे हो बात?
got it.
कि माँ ने उसको उठाया, बट माँ का लिमिटेशन है कि वो बोल नहीं सकती।
मतलब सुबह 7 बजे अलार्म बज रहा है एंड उसकी वो बंद नहीं करती, उसकी मम्मा आके बंद करती है अलार्म।
हाँ, ऐसे कर दे, मतलब कहने का मतलब समझ रहे हैं
हम्म,
कि कोई और अदर एलिमेंट्स को यूज करके तुमको वो कम्युनिकेट करना, नो डायलॉग बाय द वे। तुमने बोल दिया
got it.
कि इसने ये बोल दिया, फिर पापा भी बोलते हैं उसके, चिढ़ जाते हैं कि क्योंकि अनवेट ये है। तुम ना बहुत सिंप्लीफाई कर दी ना, वो तो पता ही है, वो तो तुम्हारे ये चार लाइन के आंसर में ही है बस वो स्टोरी। बट वही चीज को तुम बिना इन इन टूल्स को यूज करके, कि कोई बोल करके बात को कम्युनिकेट कर रहा है, तुम कैसे कम्युनिकेट करोगे?
Got it.
इट्स नॉट सो
सीन
इजी। बता बता, बोल बोल, बोल, sorry।
सीन एक्सप्लेन करना होगा मतलब बेसिकली
नहीं
दैट।
नहीं, सीन नहीं, एक्सपीरियंस, तुम्हारा एक्शन ही चेंज करना पड़ेगा, तुम्हारा एक्शन को चेंज करना पड़ेगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स से अनवेड है, और लेट्स से उसकी, आई डोंट हैव, मेरे किताब अभी मेरे दिमाग में आया है तो मैं उसकी जिक्र करता हूँ, बट मान लो कि ये एक फोटोग्राफ है लड़के का, ठीक है। एक शी जस्ट पिक्स अप फोटोग्राफ and just stares at it, stares at it, stares at it, and then she looks at the child, and then again stares back at it, ठीक है। And then maybe she tears the photograph. Throws it away. It suggests that something, a man and the child and her family, or there was a man involved. Well, if she's unwed, that can come across that will have to come across some other way, at some other instance, some other place maybe. For example, how can you suggest that she was unwed? Let's say, think about it. Tell me, what tools can we use in a story कि वो unwed है?
सर
Maybe,
मुझे आ रहा है एक।
हाँ बता।
सर ऐसे फोन में क्या होता है, पेरेंट्स वो अपने बच्चों का फोटो लगा के रखते हैं ना, लॉक स्क्रीन। The lock screen is the kid, the girl, like 2 year old. But you know how your parents always sometimes send you all these rishta details, these bio datas of guys. It's
Very
probably
nice, very
that.
nice, very nice, very nice. So that again suggests
तो नोटिफिकेशन आ
either
गया।
कि भैया नोटिफिकेशन आ गया, या माँ ही लेके आ गई और उसके सामने रख दी गुस्से में, और रख के चली गई बिना बोले। ठीक है, लेट्स से, ठीक है, सजेस्टिंग कि मैरिज अभी हुआ नहीं है, या उसके बाद भी वो ये नहीं है कि हाँ, अगर उसने फाड़ा था और ये वाला मोमेंट आता है, फिर तो डेफिनेटली वो अनवेड है या डाइवोर्स्ड है, मे बी पॉसिबल, ये भी हो सकता है उसका भी डाइवोर्स्ड। बट अनवेड का और क्या हो सकता है, और बेटर क्या हो सकता है जो कि ये हाईलाइट कर पाए?
Sir,
ये तो
there is baby on her bed, but she don't have any Mangalsutra around her neck.
हाँ, दैट वही उसका मतलब, तो ये भी या तो डिसीज्ड है, मर चुका है, या डाइवोर्स्ड है, ये भी हो सकता है ना।
Hmm.
अनवेड का कैसे सजेस्ट करेगा? मे बी लेट्स अज्यूम शी वाज रेप्ड, ओके, एंड so if the child is 2 years old, possibly she was raped almost 3 years back. And let's say there's some NGO who calls her, or 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 she enters an NGO setup, a building where, or maybe think about it. What could it be? How could you suggest it's the unwed factor is very very tricky. ये शादी का वो प्रपोजल बहुत अच्छा है, 90% सॉल्व हो जाएगा, बट 10% फिर भी वो परफेक्ट नहीं है। या मेरा वाला भी जो है वो तो कहीं भी नहीं है एक्चुअली, अभी एनजीओ तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, और क्या हो सकता है, ये सोचना बहुत जरूरी है, वो उसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है, कि think about it. Let's tomorrow when we come back to, do we have a session tomorrow? I think Wednesday and Thursday is what I was told. Tomorrow, crack this and come, all three of you. Okay, how to communicate the unwed element. Okay. Even I will think about it. Effectively, yeah, without dialogues. The idea is that. ओके, संभव ओके। और एक चीज क्या तो ये बेसिकली तुम्हारा ना, ये एलिमेंट जो है थोड़ा, you have to understand, you have to crack this somehow. You possibly have to work a little harder than the rest of them, because both of them have already given the entrance once, so they have kind of been there, I mean, kind of they know a couple of things. तेरे को शायद क्रैक करना पड़ेगा, you know, कि हाउ टू नॉट, जिस तूने वो दोनों फोटोग्राफ वाले स्टोरी में भी ना, तूने क्या किया था ना, तूने तूने उसी सीन को डिस्क्राइब कर दिया था, समझ रहा है, उसको ही नहीं डिस्क्राइब करना, समझ रहा है, वो तो दिख ही रहा है, वो तो है, वो तो वर्ल्ड दिख रहा है हमें, उस वर्ल्ड में हो क्या रहा है, एक्शन क्या हो रहा है, वो तुमको डिस्क्राइब, तुमको वहां हमें लिखिए,
गॉट इट।
वो तो जो दिख रहा है वो तो है, अंटिल को जो दिख रहा है और जो एपरेंट है, तुम्हें वो कुछ और दिख रहा है, तब मजेदार हो सकता है।
हम्म।
वही इमेज जो 99% को एक खास इमेज दिखेगा, अरे यहाँ ये वो जो भी, तुमको उसमें कुछ और दिख गया, कोई ऐसी चीज दिख गई जो कि बहुत रेयरली किसी को दिखेगा, और तब तुम उस चीज पे जा सकते हो। बट वो उससे अच्छा है कि भैया तुमको कैरेक्टर्स या तुम्हारे जो भी, तुम उस दुनिया को देखो, समझो, और उस दुनिया से चीजों को लो, और फिर अपनी कहानी रचो। समझ में आ रही बात?
Yes, sir.
ओके, ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं कृष्णा।
So a loud continuous pacing sound of alarm, ringing for almost past 1 minute. A 2-year-old baby cries in her sleep. Ishika abruptly opens her eyes to the sound of baby cries. She looks at the baby in a in a hurriedly hushes towards her baby in a gentle manner. But her voice is dominated by the alarm ringing at the desk. She jumps off the bed, stops the alarm, and gently taps the baby with a lullaby. Baby sleeps. Ishka looks at the time. It's 8:30 a.m., already in the morning. She hurriedly walks towards the washroom with drowsy steps. She brushes her teeth with quick strokes. Water splashes from the shower. She ties towel around her hair and goes back and goes towards the dressing cupboard. She opens it. There lie a huge collection of formal wear, party wear, and traditional wears. On the top of cupboard lies a lot of cover bags, bundle bundle at the top of cupboard. They are from different brands like Gucci, Armani Exchange, etc. She takes formal dress and closes the cupboard with a loud thud. Baby wakes up for the sound. Ishika calls her mother to take care of her baby. Her mother arrives in a hurried moves, and her mother curses Ishika and tells her to quit the job, but Ishika ignores. Ishika goes towards the dressing table. Her hair is messy. She dresses her hair with a costly hair dryer. On the dressing table, there lies photos of uh, young man, a makeup kit from Lakme, and other cosmetics under the tube light. Uh, while she starts applying makeup, her second alarm in the phone rings. She looks at it. She looks at the phone. It's already 9:30 a.m. She curses herself and fastens her makeup ritual. She grabs her goosey handbag and ID card lying at a corner, which has her image and Amazon company logo in the ID card. She grabs them and leaves the house. इतना ही लिखा था सर मैंने.
ओके, ठीक है। uh, See, one good thing about your write-up is you created a scene wala feel. Okay, that's a very good thing because that's what exactly they have asked for. They've asked for a sequence of scene of shots, suggesting these couple of things. Okay, there's one thing that none of you actually could effectively crack was she barely makes it to work on time almost every day. It's just not today that she's getting late.
Almost every day.
Almost every day it's a regular thing, say everyday thing. That is again something that we missed. So the idea is कि हम ये सब सवाल जो ये एक्चुअली एफटीआई का क्वेश्चन पेपर से ही है, ये सवाल ना कोई किसी कौन से साल का पता नहीं। कहने का मतलब है कि जिसने लिखा है ना, वो ये ट्रैप क्वेश्चंस हैं। वो ये देख रहा है कि भाई बंदा ये सब दो तीन चीजों को ही क्रैक कर पाया है कि नहीं, कि वो क्वेश्चन में ये दो तीन चीजें वो अ, निकाल पाया है कि नहीं, आंसर दे पाया है कि नहीं। स्टोरी तो कोई भी बना लेगा, स्टोरी बनाना तो कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, बहुत लोगों के लिए बहुत ही आसान होता है, कुछ लोगों के लिए बहुत मुश्किल भी होता है। बट वो स्टोरी बनाने में आइडिया कि ये दो तीन चीजें जो उन्होंने पूछा है वो पा रहा है कि नहीं। ठीक है, तो ये दो तीन ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। कल एक क्रैक करना, मेरे को भी ऐसे ख्याल आया था Why can't, let's say, for example, what if this character, the 20-year-old girl, what if she's actually a prostitute girl, and you describe her space, and you describe her other living with the parents. Sorry, living with the parents. I don't know. I mean, what if, let's say, there's something. Think about it. We'll all think about it. By the way, यहीं मेरे बगल में मेरे स्टडी में एक बहुत सारी किताबें हैं. एक किताब मुझे दिखी अभी. I don't know if you have read The Bastard of Istanbul. Have you read? Can you see this? The Bastard of Istanbul. एक किताब है, एक नॉवल है बेसिकली. ठीक है. एलिफ शफाक. नाउ इसकी जो मेन कैरेक्टर, इसकी मेन कैरेक्टर का इंट्रोडक्शन जो है ना, वो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. बहुत पहले मैंने पढ़ा था. आई थिंक इसका नाम है जेलिया. जेलिया का जो ओपनिंग चैप्टर का जो पहला इंट्रोडक्शन है, उसमें जेलिया ना, जहां तक मुझे याद है, कहीं तो शी इज हार्ड प्रेस्ड ऑन टाइम. शी इज कहीं मूव जा रही. इट्स इन इस्तांबुल. ओके. इस्तांबुल, आई थिंक इट्स 2000 वाला स्पेस. 2000 और 19 लेट 90s. So still very male dominated. Still it is abhi bhi male. It's a little different from India. It's not very little, very different, but it's slightly different. A little more male thing there. India mein bhi hai bhai. There's hardcore male uh, uh, space. जो जा रही है, अचानक से जाते जाते उसको नाक में ना वो खुशबू आती है किसी चीज की. आई थिंक मसालों की. एंड उसका एक प्रॉब्लम है. उसको प्रॉब्लम क्या है? उसको कुछ कुछ भी मिल गया, दिख गया, उसको चाहिए, उसको खरीदना है. वो उसका इशू है. वो उसका. एंड शी इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम डिप्रेशन बाय सम काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रेंज फॉर्म. शी इज यंग इन 20s. पर उसका उस दैट हेल्प्स हर. कुछ मिल गया, आई हैव टू बाय, आई हैव टू. एंड शी इज गोइंग फॉर द इंटरव्यू है, या आई थिंक शी इज गोइंग टू मीट, शी इज गोइंग टू द clinic, a doctor's clinic, and possibly she's going there to get herself aborted. Okay. पर रास्ते में उसको मिल गया ये. अब उससे रहा नहीं गया. वो मार्केट के अंदर घुस गई, देखा वो गरम मसाला का कुछ स्पेस, जहां तक मुझे याद है, खरीद ली थी. फटाफट खरीद ली. कोई उसका लॉजिक नहीं है. कोई लॉजिक नहीं. क्यों खरीदी? उसको ऐसा नहीं घर में गरम मसाला, लौंग, इलायची कम पड़ गए. कुछ ऐसा कम नहीं पड़ गया. बस उसने खरीद लिया, रखा, और फिर भाग रही है. और फिर देख रही है इधर से कोई 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 बुढ़ा उसको देख रहा है. उसको मन में सोच गालियां दे रही है. कोई इधर से कोई शायद रिक्शा वाला जा रहा है, उसको कुछ लाइन बोल के चले जाता है, उसको कुछ गालियां देती है. ऐसा करते करते वो फाइनली पहुंचती है क्लिनिक में, या इंटरव्यू देने जा रही है, मुझे याद बहुत पहले पढ़ा. क्लिनिक जा रही है, और वहां पे भी कुछ होता है. एंड लोग उसको नजर ऐसे देखते हैं, अरे ये क्या, कहाँ से आई. सो इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. एनीवेज, इट्स अ कोइंसिडेंस. मैं अभी सोच ही रहा था कि कैसे क्रैक करूं. इधर नजर पड़ी, इधर ये किताब दिखी, वो याद आ गई, मैंने बता दी. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. सो ओके, हम लोग कल मिलेंगे, बट कल के लिए एक सवाल है. नाउ आई विल गिव यू अ क्वेश्चन. Stop sharing and share this instead. Wait, hold on. Can you see this? Is it visible, people? Will it be, is it okay if you can just quickly write it down somewhere? Okay, if you, or should I just ask, give it to Devata and she will pass it on to you? Ah, great. Sambhav. Smart. I'll still ask Devata to give it to you, okay? The question is, write any one of the following short 200 words / 10 marks. आइडिया था कि ये मैं अभी क्लास में करूँ, यहाँ पे कर पाऊँ, बट अभी टाइम नहीं है. 9:20 हो गया भाई साहब. तो ये अब तुम जाओगे घर पे करोगे, और नॉट जस्ट वन, यू हैव टू राइट ऑल 3. ठीक है? ऑल 3, पेन एंड पेपर पे. ट्राई टू स्टिक टू द टाइम. टाइम कुड बी Short 200 words, not more than 10 minutes. चलो 15 minutes. 15 minutes से ऊपर नहीं. ठीक है, 15 minutes में you have to finish. मतलब 45 minutes का ये काम है. Actually 10 minutes यार. 200 words के लिए वो 15 मिनट नहीं. ठीक है, आधे घंटे का काम है ये काम, ये जरूरी है. पेपर पे लिखो, घसीटा राम भी लिख दोगे चलेगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं. बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट, पेपर पे लिखना जरूरी है. ठीक है, टाइप मत करना. क्यों? क्योंकि वो जो पढ़ने वाला बंदा जो बैठेगा ना, इंटरव्यू, और तुम्हारे इंटरव्यू कह रहा हूँ, रीडर क्वेश्चन का, हाँ, हमको उसको क्रैक करना है. तो उसके लिए हमारा हैंड राइटिंग भी इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है, वो प्रैक्टिस भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, तो ये लिखना है. कल जब हम क्लास के लिए आएंगे, आप इसका राइटअप जो है ना, वो या तो फोटो खींच के, इनफैक्ट फोटो खींच के या स्कैन करके, जो भी देवदत्त को दे देना, वो मुझे भेज देगी. विल बिगिन विथ योर आंसर्स, we'll read out your answers, and that will also be a very important exercise. I'll tell you why. Tomorrow when we do it, we'll understand. ठीक है, चलें फिर आज के लिए बंद करें. Any questions as of now? Any questions? Pharmacy?
So I just
हाँ.
wanted to ask one thing.
हम्म.
मतलब we should write daily ना, अगर मुझे रोज लिखना चाहिए एटलीस्ट.
You have to write 3 days a day. मतलब डेली नहीं, you have to write 24 hours if possible. मत सो, लिखना है. समझ रहा है?
लिखना ही है मतलब.
लिखना ही है. अच्छा, लास्ट 10th कब किया था तुम? अरे ग्रेजुएशन में लिखते लिखते हैं क्या, पता? तुमने लिखा है आंसर्स?
हाँ लिखे हैं.
आज तुम प्रैक्टिस में हो. नंदिता, व्हेन डिड यू ग्रेजुएट? व्हेन डिड यू लास्ट प्रॉपर्ली सिट डाउन एंड राइट एन आंसर? हाउ लॉन्ग
So
वाज इट
2 weeks back.
बैक?
I'm still in
अच्छा.
college. Huh.
Ajay, you're still in college?
I'm doing
Okay.
research. Hmm.
Okay, but you're a graduate, right? It's a
Yeah, I
post.
have completed 3 years. I am doing research for a year.
Okay, lovely. Okay, fine. ठीक है. ठीक है. And Vamshi?
ऑलमोस्ट 4-5 months हो गए.
So now you have to get back to this, writing practice, because वहाँ पे that becomes a very critical thing.
मतलब नाउ
हम कित
जुलाई तक किया था. जुलाई में हमारा हुआ था ना एग्जाम, तब तक किया था. उसके बाद आई वाज जस्ट जर्नलिंग अराउंड लाइक twice or once in a week. That's all.
नहीं,
I couldn't
no.
write much.
Two things you have to begin right now: writing practice, and second, you're preparing towards your MCQs. How do you prepare for your MCQs, by the way? Just 2 moments. Tell me. Yes, yes, Sambhav.
Sir, MCQ वाला part is classified into three things according to me. The first one was art and culture. Second आपका history of Indian cinema. And the third one is current affairs. तो अब
Right.
तीनों को कैसे कैसे कितना कैसे टाइम देना वो आइडिया नहीं है, लेकिन इन तीनों के अराउंड ही चीजें हैं.
देख, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट तो सिनेमा वाला है. ठीक
Got
है.
it.
सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट है डेफिनेटली करंट अफेयर्स, प्रोवाइडेड इफ that has something to do with cinema. A filmmaker
Good.
who passed on, वो important है.
धर्मेंद्र फॉर एग्जाम्पल
For
नॉमिनेटेड
example,
फॉर
correct.
पद्म भूषण आई गेस.
तो अब तुमको ये तो मालूम है, पिछले 1 साल में जितने फिल्म पर्सनालिटीज हैं जिन्होंने कुछ अचीव किया है, या कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट हुआ, या तो वो मर गए हैं, या तो कुछ ऐसा चीज हो गया जो कि होता नहीं है, या उनकी फिल्म ने बहुत कमाल कर दिया, वो तो तुम्हारा वो मान के चलो, वो क्वेश्चन है, बैठा हुआ है, वो आ रहा है. ठीक है, जितने भी फिल्म पर्सनालिटी. एंड आर्ट एंड कल्चर, ऑफ कोर्स, डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज इट इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ सिनेमा, समवेयर indirectly. When we
Got
say
it.
cinematic, what do we? There's a question here. What does cinematic storytelling mean? Okay, you have to crack that. You have to first understand what is cinematic storytelling, and then you have to write an answer. Okay. Cinematic से मतलब वही हो जाता है कि it is just not the story. It's just not the plot that is important, or just not the characters which is important. There's too many other things also all together. Right? The plot, the characters, the world, the space, the lighting, the season, the music, the sound, so many things. And all together, when you create a, a scene, that is a cinematic scene. रिसर्च करो थोड़ा सा, इस पे बैठो आधा घंटा, क्रैक हो जाए, बहुत सिंपल है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. And then write down with pen and paper. So give it to Devrata. We'll start with that. Okay. Chalo. Tada. Bye bye. Take care.
Yes.
Nice, sir.
Bye bye.